Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Allie, and before we get any further, if you didn't see last week's video, click here and catch up. I talked about 1 through 4 and then talked about any predictions and what I think the rest of the season holds, so go watch and then come back. Now for those of you who did watch and are caught up with episodes 1 through 5 of Younger, Lego. The episode starts with Liza finding a video of Caitlyn doing weird stuff with Brett. Now, to be honest, I forgot Caitlyn existed for a hot second, so glad she's doing fine and she's doing stuff. The next scene is Lauren and Kelsey and Josh in the apartment, and we meet Lauren's new assistant named Tam, who is genderqueer and uses pronouns they and them. And of course, right off the bat, Lauren educates Kelsey and Josh, mostly Josh, because Josh uses dude. So she quickly educates him and lets him know you can't just assume everyone's pronouns. After that, we have Kelsey going to the dinner party with her new client, author guy, government, who kisses her and who she starts liking. Now, the only reason, I'm all for it because y'all know I'm not a big fan of Zane and Kelsey, so I'm glad this government guy is in here mixing things up. But I kind of hate that she has to work with him and then also fall for him, only because it's like we already saw it with the other guy, the Swedish guy, who I can't remember his name right now. So it's like, can she not find a client who she can't fall for? I mean, kind of wish they'd met separately, like not work related. Then of course Zane comes in thinking like you look really cozy with him and you need to handle yourself, or you can't handle yourself, blah blah blah. Zane can go away. Then we have Liza and Dawn out and about eating falafels or a something food, and she falls just smack dab on the concrete, which I want the bloopers too, because if she did her own stunt, I just really want to watch that. But they're out and they're talking and she falls and her purse falls and her things go everywhere, and of course he finds both her IDs with her real age and her fake age, and she doesn't even go into a lie. She sits there and tells him the whole truth, and he sits there and commends her, telling her she's his hero and she's brave and blah blah blah, only to have the following day flooded with phone calls wondering if Liza is 41. And she finds out that Dawn is writing an article about her, not exposing her, but giving her real age, which is 41. So then of course her and Kelsey are on her way to a meeting with Reese Witherspoon's people for the movie book deal, and her people confront her about it, and she's just quick on her feet and says that she's age queer, and she just told those people she was 41 because they just assume that just because she's young she can't be successful and all this other stuff, and they roll with it, and thankfully people buy it. She finds Dawn, confronts him, tells him off, and walks out like a lady. I love, because I didn't mention it in my last video, but I am not a fan of Dawn or the guy who plays Dawn. I'm not sure if you knew this, but Christian, which is the guy who plays Dawn, is Sutton Foster's ex, and they had previously worked together. Now they were married, like her ex-husband. And the last thing that they did together was when Gilmore Girls did their revival through the years, and they had a couple episodes together. Not a big fan, so when he was brought onto these last episodes, I wanted him gone as soon as possible. I also hated that they kiss. So I'm glad that she dissed, and hopefully he's gone, because he was trying to not expose her. That was her story, and obviously didn't want people to find out, and here he was telling like Vulture, Vanity Fair, or whatever B magazine it was. But because of the whole age queer that started hitting social media, they dropped the story, and he was back on his butt. Then within the whole mix of that, we have Josh, who we find out is questioning whether he wants to stay, not stay, continue tattooing people and not tattooing people. And he calls Liza, and Liza tells him, like, you should stay, you have Kelsey, you have me, like, you have people here, like, this is what you're supposed to do, you can commit. And they hug it out. And then at the end, Liza's passing the ink shop and she sees the sign being taken off, so she runs to Josh and like lets him know, like, I will not let you leave, like, I'm here for you. And he's like, calm down, I'm just getting a bigger sign, I'm staying, I'm committing, I know this is what I want, I'm not gonna give up. And they hug, okay? But the way that he says, I'm not ready to give up yet, I'm pretty sure he was talking about Liza and wants to get back together with her, which I am about, even though I'm like Team Charles mostly. But they just, oh, he's just so, ugh. So they hug, and I truly feel, I felt like back when they were in the tattoo shop that they were gonna kiss and have a moment, but that didn't happen, which I'm glad, because I feel like it may be too early for that to happen. But the way that he hugs her and says it gives hope that he may be trying to be in a relationship with Liza again, which kind of makes it complicated because in the promo for next episode, she asked Charles if he's ever gonna forgive her, and he's like, we need to talk. And it just didn't seem like he was mad at her anymore. It kind of seemed like he was actually ready for her to tell her story. So that'll be interesting when that goes down. The end of the episode though ends with Liza finally contacting Caitlin and them having dinner and telling her that whatever you act or do is like who you become. Caitlin obviously still doesn't know that Liza's lying about her age, her job, blah blah blah. You know, I again forgot about Caitlin, and so the fact that Caitlin doesn't know, I have a feeling she's gonna also find out this season. Which is gonna be annoying if she's mad like she was mad when she found out about Josh. Which was like, why did she have to be mad about that? That was so unnecessary. She gave like a real lecture. Like, if you cheat, you're a cheater. If you lie, you're a liar. But of course, I feel like that was all spawning from her own stuff. Also, in next week's promo, they showed that the lady who tried blackmailing her comes back. And Kelsey's like, she plays dirty. And her boss, Diana, still doesn't know. So I have a feeling that something's gonna happen. I think Diana's also gonna find out. God, that's so many people that could find out. I mean, like, the whole world could find out, but Caitlin could end up finding out. Although I feel like it wouldn't be like that bad, because like Caitlin finding out wouldn't determine her losing her job. But if Diana found out, it's very like 50-50, even though I truly feel like she'll protect Liza like Charles has been protecting her. Because she did give her the like $1,000 that she needed for Caitlin's tuition that one time. And at the dinner party in last week's episode, she went to Liza to help with the plumber toilet issue. And I really forgot to add last week too that when Diana and the plumber guy went on the date, like, it worked out and they were so cute and she was so surprised by him. So he wasn't in this episode, but I do hope that they prolong that relationship, because their relationship again was like super wild. And we didn't get to see the full growth of that. Yeah, next week's gonna have a lot of feelings. Blackmail, confrontation, and we'll see. Comment what you thought about tonight's episode. I thought it was pretty good, given that there was a possibility of blackmail, but it didn't turn into. It was like shut down really quick. Tell me what you thought about the whole storylines with Joss wanting to leave, what you think his whole I'm not ready to give up was about. Was it about Liza? Was it like truly about like him feeling better? Like, what was that spiel? Give this video a thumbs up, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week for episode 6 of Younger. Bye.